Welcome to A Certain Point Askew, the only Star Wars podcast to make the Kessel run in 8 parsecs due to a broken vac tube and a very backed-up neighbor Cole from Corellia. I am Jason, the angry ginger Jedi guy, broadcasting live from inside Wookiee Studios. I'm not alone. Please allow me to introduce your favorite wretched scum, scoundrels, and smugglers. First up, neighbor Cole from Corellia, which in 2018, he was the most targeted separatist by the Galactic Empire. He wrote a book about it, How to Destroy Alderaan in 3 Easy Steps. Neighbor Cole, welcome.
That's quite the introduction. Thank you very much, Jason, the Jedi ginger guy.
Well, I had an hour, to practice.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
You had an extra hour today?
Yeah, an extra hour.
You didn't take a nap like you were just complaining about earlier?
Daylight Star Wars savings time.
Yeah, thanks to neighbor Cole. Yeah. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate you opening your humble abode.
Having some patience.
Yep. Yeah. Thanks for bringing me on to the moisture farm that you were running down here.
It's doing a really good job right
Black
now.
Market
very wet.
Moisture farm because it's hotter than Tatooine out there today, boys.
Boy, is it, yeah.
Hotter than shit.
Only one sun.
I got enough fucking sun this weekend to cover 3 of my asses. So.
You do look like Mace Windu today.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me on the show. We are not alone in this universe. We do have a third micer coming in hot from the hyperspace lanes, whatever you want to call it today. Phoning in from across the galaxy, Matthew. Hey, Matt.
That's my Grogu.
Oh. I was like, what is he doing right now? That's not bad.
That's terrible.
It was absolutely terrible. I was watching that the episode we're going to get to, and they kept showing him doing his little cooing, and I was like, maybe I could do that. Oh, it never got it down. But that's. I feel like Kyle is always asking me to do it no matter what. So that's what you get. Sometimes you get bad stuff.
Sometimes you got to give the fans what they need.
Yeah, even if it's terrible. Thanks for having me. I want to remind everybody you can find all of our show stuff at FromACertainPointAskew.com. You can find us on Twitter at FACPAPod, and you can email the show FACPAPod@gmail.com. I also wanted to mention that we are part of the Podawan podcast network, and that includes other fine shows like the Clone Cast, Wayfinder Pod, Jar Jar Thinks, and Vader's Thoughts. And I cheated on you guys because I recorded with them a crossover episode.
Oh, well, we didn't even get a fucking heads up. Like, hey, would you like to join us?
I think that was deliberate.
Yeah, that's a Matt the Mastermind over here. Yeah. Slowly kicking us out.
Fucking icing us out. It's that fucking Canadian hockey
the title of this podcast.
You know, you have sometimes different groups of friends. You don't want to cross the streams. It was no, I'm just kidding.
It's like that episode of Seinfeld when Elaine's mingling in both worlds, right? She's got fucking the Bizarro Jerry and everything else.
That's right. Yeah, no, I did a crossover episode with a few of the guys from the network, and we discussed the Bad Batch and Visions. So I'm going to release that on our feed this week as just kind of a bonus episode, probably after this episode comes out. So look for that, I think, on Tuesday.
What was it like to podcast about Star Wars with people who take it more seriously than me?
But they don't. They have like a pretty, I mean, I think they're, well, because you've read a lot of the books and stuff, and Cole's read some of them. They're a lot more, they've read a lot more, I think, than us as a whole, for sure, me. And
well, they sound fucking great. They sound cool.
Why do you just podcast with them all the time? Sure.
Are they well read, Matt? Is that what you're trying to say? We're not fucking smart enough for your new friends?
If you want to bring on Courtney to take my spot, Courtney can take my spot as the third mic. I understand. No, it was good to talk to them because
are they prettier than us?
No comment. I'm not.
Did you wear your ring the entire time? Did you wear your ring?
Yeah, so I will post that soon. I think, actually, yes, a couple of them, Wayfinder and Clonecast, have already posted it on their feeds as well, just trying to kind of put it out there. Just trying to do some crossover stuff here and there when we have time. I'll get you in there at some point. I just thought it was going to be easier schedule-wise. We have a hard enough time scheduling us, so I thought getting 4 or 5 people on the line was going to be kind of tricky.
Or showing up on time, apparently, too.
So, you know what? It's all good. It's Sunday. We're happy to be here. I do, the image behind him is fitting for several reasons. One is apparently he's turning, turncoat on us, and he's secretly going to the other side. We're calling you out. He's got Darth Tyrannus, who is also fucking
Count Dooku
behind him, and it's fitting because I wrote to introduce him today. And he has the image up there, and I don't know if you did that on purpose or not, but I wrote, Matt, a.k.a. Darth Matthews, who recently inherited the silk sheets and matching pajamas from Darth Tyrannus while at a yard sale on Jakku.
I thought you typed that up just after seeing the image I had behind me. So we just were...
No, I wrote that about an hour ago.
Synergy.
Yes.
Do you have that synergy with the other guys that you cheated with?
Not
I don't
yet.
think so.
Not yet. We're working on it.
You're working on it.
It takes a while to build that trust.
All right. If you want to reach out to us, Matt told you how to. We got a couple things on the show today. We got a question of the week. We're going to discuss the droids on Mount Rushmore. We got some news and/or filming wraps. Finn may be getting his own Disney Plus series, and there's some hype about the Book of Boba Fett. We got the Disney Gallery making of the Mandalorian, which is chapter 16 you've written down, which is the finale of the Mandalorian. We're going to talk about that. That came out, and man, brought me right back. I loved every minute of that. And then we got a mailbag. We got a couple of those in there, and a tweet and a voicemail. So stick around. We're going to talk about you, the listener, as soon as we get to that section. First up, though, we've got a question of the week. What is it?
Well, so I'll just mention it really quickly, and you can read it, Ty. Ty called you Ty.
Oh, motherfucker. See, he's already calling me by the other person.
You know why? Because I'm looking at this list I have up here, and it shows
intimate.
It shows his name. It shows his name. I had it written down on the list, and so I was looking at it right before I read that.
Look at him stutter. He doesn't even know where he's at right now.
Yeah. It's like calling the wrong girl's name and
that's what I'm saying.
Fucking calls us out or talking like cheating on us and drops it the bomb on
and
air.
Doesn't, like he just tells it on it like we have to just take it. You know?
Yeah,
like we're a couple of bitches.
We got to show how professional we are, which is none, and like handle this with aplomb.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get myself together here. Okay. Yeah. There was a tweet that I sent out last week as a promotion for our last episode. And I mentioned I was pumping up AZ3 because we mad respect for that droid. And I just threw it out as a kind of a random comment. Is he on the Mount Rushmore of droids? And Cole, you mentioned, we should do that as our question of the week. So that's what I was going to do, is ask you guys what you think, who would be the 4 people on your Star Wars droids Mount Rushmore?
Well, the 4 droids that I'd have to put up there, and this is just because of Mike Laborn, it'd be just 4 of C-3PO. That's what I decided on. Just 3PO.
Different versions of them. Like one of like Anthony poses. Daniels' face without the mask, the droid head on.
The shocked expression where his eyes are lit up, and then the regular expression. And then
one with the red arm.
Disapproving with the red arm up, like scolding R2 maybe a little bit. It'd be life-size versions, not just his face.
I think instead of us picking each of our own Mount Rushmore, we roundtable this and we have to come to a consensus as a FACPA coalition. Like, what do we decide here for the four droid heads?
Are you trying to do like a team building thing because of Matt's betrayal?
Yeah, we're trying to
bring it back.
See if he can still work with us.
He's trying to sew up the wound that the festering wound that he applied.
You know?
Right to your heart.
Yeah.
I have to start with. Well, I think AZ3 belongs there, frankly. After what he did and what he did in the Clone Wars, I would put him on there.
I think AZ makes it on, for sure. R2's got to be up there.
Absolutely.
No matter what.
Yeah, like it's hard to go like R2, C3PO because they're like the old tried and true, right? And you kind of want to go with something different, but how do you ignore, you have to put R2.
3PO ain't on there.
This is the Droid Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
So like, everyone hates 3PO, but 3PO, what has 3PO ever done? Has he ever done anything like
a lot of complaining?
He let his mind get wiped for a couple days, a couple hours.
Yeah. He took one last look at his friends.
He's talked to the Millennium Falcon before. They plugged him into the hyperdrive of the Millennium Falcon, right?
So he was talking to L337.
L337.
Yeah, it's Lando's droid. He may.
She was part. Yeah, because she got loaded up as part of
she's part of the Millennium Falcon.
Her space chart.
I think there's an argument that she would be going on there, right?
Maybe.
Being part of the Millennium Falcon. She kind of fucking led the droid revolution, whether you want to believe in that droid woke culture or not.
Yeah, I don't know if she's on there. I mean, my list, I also had IG-11 and K2SO because I love them so much, but I don't know that they make it. I think that's just my favoritism toward them. I don't know if they necessarily belong there, but I love those 2 droids.
I think you guys, IG-11, Grogu would be dead
Yeah, he
without
saved
him.
Baby Yoda. Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's badass.
Very important. Yeah,
and he took one for the fucking whole team at the end. Like, ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, who needs legs?
Right.
Nobody needs legs.
So who are we putting on there? Come on, let's lay it down.
We got R2, AZ,
the final 4.
IG-11, and what's the 4th?
Gonk.
BB-8.
Ooh, BB-8. We kind of forgot BB-8.
Yeah.
BB-8 was always a little cutie pie.
He held on some information about Luke Skywalker's whereabouts. He had the map except for the one spot.
Right.
Very important. Poe put him on a mission.
He somehow got on like a little walker and started blowing shit up, which I thought was kind of ridiculous, but that's okay.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
Let's throw him in
I'm
there.
good with BB-8.
Okay.
So we're going R2, BB-8, AZ3, and
IG-11.
IG-11.
Yeah.
That's our Mount Rushmore.
All right. Listeners, you tell us yours. A few people tweeted back at us and said theirs. I know that like your boy Laybourne was like, gonk, somebody, gonk, somebody, gonk. He just kept saying gonk.
Yeah. What planet will this be on?
Ooh, good question.
Ooh, I'm going to have to say Corellia, right?
What's a good touristy planet that people are going to go visit?
Coruscant.
Galaxy's Edge.
Jakku?
It wouldn't fit in Coruscant.
Too crowded?
It's a giant
No
city.
mountains.
Yeah, you can't put it there. It's got to be somewhere out in the nature.
Maybe it's a hologram.
Oh, well, there you go.
Ooh.
Yavin.
Think about that. Dagobah. Put it on Dagobah.
Well,
Dagobah it is. Nobody will see it ever.
no one will ever know it's there.
Hey, it's going to be Dagobah, and it's going to be the first step in the gentrification process of the entire planet.
Always one of those.
Yep.
All right. Should we move on to the news?
I think we should.
So there's a few items here. The first one is that Andor filming has completed. So Bespin Bulletin was reporting as of last week that they totally wrapped on filming. It's in post-production. The sets have come down. The cast members have wrapped up filming and all that. They had a lot of delays. I mean, they started a long time ago. They had the COVID delay, and then they had weather issues because they're really not using the volume a lot. It's like they've said it's almost like a full-on movie set with practical effects and all that kind of stuff. So
They started shooting last November, right?
yeah, they started then. So it's been going on for quite a long. They also have 12 episodes. So I mean, there's a lot to cover. So I assume that's why. But then it gets you into that thing where now there's that recent report. It might have been on Best in Bulletin also, how Kenobi we thought was wrapped, but now they're saying there's still some stuff they're filming. So who knows which one of those two is going to come first? I have no idea.
Yeah, I know we were kind of speculating last week, but now it's all up in the air, right?
No clue. But I'm excited. I'm really excited for Andor. I think it's going to be a really fun series.
Do you think they'll make an announcement this fall yet? Like around the time Book of Boba Fett's coming out, or maybe the trailer? Will they do like a little, was it Kathleen Kennedy last year?
The
or 2 years
investor
ago
meeting or whatever?
Yeah, and they kind of went through the whole rigmarole of what was happening over the next, the course of the next 2 years.
Yeah, well, I think they have another one of those. I don't know if it's an investor call, but there's something happening in November where they're expecting news to come out of that. So I would assume, I mean, you would think some sort of tease, of course, for Book of Boba, but then also they got to give us something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you would think that they would at least say anything, like fucking Kenobi's coming out in spring, like just something. Give us a season, give us some sort of rough timeline. I'm still waiting for them to tell us when the fuck Book of Boba Fett's going to kick off. Like, what's the date?
Well, while we're talking about like things coming up in the
Christmas
near
Day.
future timelines and such, do you want to just give the listeners a quick rundown of what they can expect from us, like what we're going to be covering?
Yes, we can do that.
If you're prepared for that,
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot.
Where's your spreadsheet from now until 2027?
I was actually looking for that yesterday and I couldn't find it, so you're going to have to link it for me.
I'll send it to you again. We have a separate document.
He said it again with the
again.
I had an eye roll.
How do you not have that printed and taped to your wall?
Matt's got it tattooed on the back of his hand.
Yeah, there's a doc we have that I tried to map it out. And the only reason I do this, other than the fact that I'm weird, is that I was trying to line it up to the start of Book of Boba. Like I'm trying to make sure we get all the stuff we want to get in before we get there. It's the same thing we did with the countdown to Bad Batch, where we kind of tried to get the Clone Wars done just before that started, and it happened to work out really well. So in this case, we're going to switch over and start doing Rebels reviews. And so we're going to record like a whole season, but we'll release it weekly. So we'll break it up into half seasons. So we'll start doing that as of 2 weeks from now, actually, because we're going to record in 2 weeks.
So over the course of 2 months, we'll cover the whole series.
Exactly. And then we're going to mix in we're going to have some guests on I can't wait to have some of the Podawan Network guys on so you can just really feel the sexual tension going around and how I cheated on you guys. But also we'll have some other guests we've been meaning to have on. So it's going to be kind of a hodgepodge all the way up to Book of Boba.
Are you going to let them know how mad we are at them, and then they're not going to know, or are they going to let them walk into it? So when they just come on the Skype and me and Jay are just glaring at them, like for no reason.
By the way, I forgot to tell you guys.
Right before you hit connect. Oh yeah, by the way, these guys are really pissed at you for me recording.
Here we go.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Well, everything they say, you guys just act like nothing was said. You just move right on.
Right.
Jay, could you tell the third guy over there that we're not talking to him right now? Tell him that we hate his haircut and he looks stupid.
And we lost him again.
No, actually, Lando was not from that planet. Idiot.
Yeah. I don't care how many books you read, man. All right, the next item, and this is total hot rumor, red alert here that is probably or could be bullshit. But this came from that hashtag show, which I'm not that familiar with. Did you say you've seen stuff from them before, Jay? I can't remember.
Yeah, and I did a little digging into this, and some of the people that I follow that actually have some credit behind them when they usually look for two sources before they'll hit anything. And there was one of them did retweet it, and there were some comments on it, and his comment back to it was, I have heard rumblings of them trying to do some type of stuff with the what is it, the legacy cast, or what do they call it, the sequel cast? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a lot of there's a lot of like they're attempting to create things, and it depends on what will actually kind of go to the next step. So nothing's been greenlit, but there are ideas bouncing around. Whether he's actually been contacted or he's involved, I have no idea. I didn't see any of that, but it does seem like it's very likely that they're at least toying with the idea of doing something with Finn or something in that era still to bring to a series. Yeah,
that was the rumor, was that there would be a Finn series, and essentially what they were saying is that it would go back and look at kind of his backstory and how he came to the First Order, and then it would also show stuff of like what he's done or what he's up to after Episode 9. So that, again, are we doing like flashbacks? How are we doing that with like jumping back and forth? But I mean, there's a lot that they could do with him, so I could totally see it. I think it's just a matter of, like you said, I think eventually we're going to get something from all of those people. It's just when.
Right.
Would you guys be excited to see something like this? I feel like this is kind of, if they do something, they're kind of placating him a bit, because he was a bit over the top about, he was very critical of how his character was handled, and he didn't get a lot of he didn't get a lot of opportunity to act, he said, which I don't think is incorrect.
I think he was led to believe, isn't there like a conversation where he was led to believe there would be a little bit of like, you are going to be a Jedi?
A central character.
Essentially, and then when Rian Johnson did it.
Yeah, The Force Awakens set him up as one of the central characters, and then he kind of got shoved to the back for the next two episodes, you know? And so I understand being kind of put off by that, but I think there's a lot there with his character. You could still, I mean, there's so many characters we're getting more story on anyway. I think he would be a great one to do, and to see how he came, like to show that story of how these kids were just put into that stormtrooper system. I think that's interesting.
It's gonna be like a line-for-line remake of the movie Soldier with Kurt Russell. That's his upbringing.
Just with Finn instead.
You remember that? You remember that movie, guys?
I vaguely remember that. I don't know if I
love that movie.
Have much recall of it. But I just thought it was interesting. I didn't know if it was legit. I didn't know, how credible they were, but I thought, it makes sense that we might see something like that at some point. One last thing, and that is on the Book of Boba front. Cole, your boy Robert Rodriguez did a little interview recently with Collider, and he was asked about the Book of Boba Fett. And he didn't reveal much, but he's clearly proud of it. He said, quote, "Tamura and I had some late night jam sessions, and we're including that music in the show." I'm just kidding.
There's your factoid.
No, he said, I can't say anything about it at all right now, but it's coming out in December. Wait until you see what's coming. It's going to blow your mind. That's all I can say. I can talk it up all I want because I know it over-delivers. It way over-delivers. People are going to be so pumped when they see it. Erection achieved.
You know what? This is like, I think, yeah, exactly. I think Rodriguez kind of like, he played just the tip with his episode in The Mandalorian, and now he's just going balls deep on because he's known for this. His action's insane. So if he can kind of be let off the chain a little bit, I think he's going to surprise us.
And Boba's like his guy. I mean, he talked about it. Like, that was kind of his thing. And so if you are given the opportunity, and with his chops to develop that into a full-on series around that guy, I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, when you can show him being a badass in the first, episode where you're like, oh, this is the guy, and we get to see him be a badass, but now we get to see it play over, let's say, 8 episodes, it's just going to be unrelenting. And if it's bouncing around a little bit, self-contained stories telling a big story, we're going to see a lot of cool different shit.
Yeah.
Different eras of Boba Fett,
Yeah.
Experimental music aside, he does do a really good job directing the episodes. So he's not forcing everyone on set to listen to his guitar playing and going what do they call it? Improving him and Tamura having a little
next to Grogu. You wouldn't chill on the rock and just fucking jam with him?
I mean, no, I probably wouldn't do that.
Like if they said you could be in the Stormtroopers, you'd be like, nah, I'm good.
I don't have any musical
ability.
ability.
What if they
I can't
needed
even
someone
keep
to play the mouth harp?
I'm more of a skin flute man. Jazz flute is for sissy girls.
Did you say skin flute?
What?
Beg your pardon?
Come again?
All right, that's it for news.
We need like a wrap up, like Kurt Loder from MTV News.
I know we're severely lacking bumpers on this show. We'll have to work on that.
I bet you they have bumpers on the other show.
Oh,
I know,
God
probably
damn it.
did.
Here we go.
Yeah, I bet he was like, "This is what professionalism is."
Yeah.
People show up on time.
And I fucking grew my beard out just like, what is his name? Sean Payton? What is it? Peyton Reed?
Peyton Reed.
I did the Peyton Reed look for Matt, and he didn't even fucking notice.
You did. You're bald.
Shaved my head.
You're just not
and
grain.
I must not look like one of the other guys he podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm just not good enough. I clean myself up, and I try so hard.
You know,
When will enough be enough?
He never takes me out anywhere.
you guys cheat on me weekly with other people, so I think it's fair.
But that's through a government sponsored program because we have a mentally handicapped person on the third mic.
Yeah.
He is not mentally handicapped.
We get text. Oh, physically handicapped. I'm
There
sorry.
you go.
That's
Thank
true.
you.
Very good. I actually got to feel what it was like to be Courtney and let everyone down around us today. So behind the scenes, I was like, I said to myself as soon as I got off the chat and I hit play on the fucking movie, I was like, this is what Courtney probably feels like every week.
Except for with less remorse. Like he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, whatever. I'll get to it.
Hey, I had to. My third cousin needs their dog. It's nail clipped. So they had a hangnail. So I'm taking care of that.
You don't need me this week. I'll be back next week.
Just I know it's my weekly watch party pick this week, but just score it without me.
All right, let's talk Disney Gallery making of the Mandalorian finale. And my first thought on this was once again how amazing it is that they kept this shit a secret because
For 2 fucking years.
yeah, it was at least a year and a half where they went to Hamill, told him about it, and he knew. I mean, he knew before he had seen Grogu before the first episode even came out. He knew.
Right.
And so he knew then they had a plan for him at the end of season 2. That just boggles my mind that they were to keep that on the hush.
Not only were they keeping it on the hush and like keeping it secret, they were like putting out propaganda to like throw people off the fucking the chase. They were putting out fake drawings of the scripts where like they were like, it's not going to be Luke, it's going to be Plo Koon.
Yeah,
let's use Plo Koon because he's my favorite. Everyone knows.
Yeah,
that's a deep fan knows he's my favorite character.
And I feel like we had those discussions during our season of the show.
We called that at one point.
We discussed that, yeah, because we knew Filoni was a big fan of his. So
there is one problem with the Plo Koon thing though. He's dead.
Yeah.
And I know that we do the whole like nobody's ever really gone thing and all that, and you never know if somebody, we thought Boba Fett was dead and he came out of the Sarlacc pit and all that. The man was shot down and his ship exploded.
In space.
Well, you see his ship.
Or
you saw his
course
ship.
not.
You saw his ship crash. You don't see if he's in it or not.
True. There could have been a good eject.
Fuck,
And he's got
coming
like that
back,
big
isn't he?
face mask thing. That boy could probably live in space for years.
Believe it or not, guys, I didn't put that together that he would have been dead.
No.
I know I'm supposed to catch those types of things. That's my job on the show is to chart timelines and catch things that just don't add up.
You're like the what's the librarian at the Jedi Archives or whatever? Huh?
Jocasta Nu.
Yes. You're that person for us.
Yeah.
I cost someone new every day, so it works.
Very true.
Works well for me.
Yeah.
When they showed that the drawing of the Plo Koon was pretty badass, like that whatever that was they made. But then when they showed the digitally placed head on the top of that guy's, oh my God, I almost shit my pants.
Well, they were talking about that too, like that everyone was going to be in, they were talking that people would be in denial, like they wouldn't believe that it was Luke, even after like you got his X-wing flies in, you got the fucking dressed in all black, and then the green lightsaber, and everyone's like, they're not going to believe it's not. It can't be.
I lived that. I was that person.
Yeah.
My son's like, "What, Dad? What, Dad?" And I'm just like, "No way!" And I'm standing up off the couch, and yeah.
Well, and I thought Filoni had an interesting point about that because he clearly is aware of the feedback of that episode and people being like Luke was just like, it's not quite right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he goes, but he said the face, if you just think about the face, maybe like it puts you off. He's like, but the build the whole time going, no, it can't be, but it looks like it, but it could be. And it builds up your expectations so much that you almost convince yourself like that's close enough. That works.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never really think about it too. Like they mentioned it a couple times in the episode where like the Jedi kind of like I always just thought that when I was a kid growing up that they just had really good like lightning fast reflexes, right? But their reflexes border on like precognition because they know what's going to happen before it happens, and that's why you see him like setting up lightsaber moves like 3 moves ahead because he knows something's coming down the road. So that's always kind of interesting. The more you learn about applications of the Force, like from reading that Light of the Guardians or whatever it is we were listening to for a while. They're talking about how the different applications of the Force and they can link together and combine their powers to be like one hive mind almost.
Oh, right, yeah.
Type of a deal. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool to learn stuff like that and to see it being on air.
Well, and how they did it, Favreau breaks down. He's like, well, we could have done it like the Tarkin thing where it's totally CGI. We could have done, de-aging kind of in the post, or we could have done deep fake. And we get into the deep fake stuff. When he starts talking about the deep fake, and they show just like the weird screen in front of the face of Luke, and it's all those weird images. That was jarring. Like that freaked me out. Almost looked like a grainy documentary about a serial killer or something. The way his eyes looked and stuff, it was bizarre.
It's like when you cut it's like the ransom note when you cut the letters out of a newspaper and put them together. It looks like there was just one crudely pasted your picture, your picture of your face over mine. Your marriage was a hollow shell.
They apparently used obviously all that old past film footage and interviews with Mark Hamill and all that kind of stuff to make it work. But I thought it was funny because they started to get into the whole deep fake thing and like concerns about it. I was like, yeah, you think? I mean, fuck.
Yeah. It was almost like Favreau felt compelled that he had to give like a speech about it too. Mm-hmm. And the blockchain and how they're going to use it. And we're using it for good reasons, but other people are. And
I expected Favreau to be like, have you guys seen the show Black Mirror? Let me just tell you what's coming. But no, it was interesting. It's cool to see like that he did put that little disclaimer out there, right? And then like it's interesting to see because society is starting to go this route with things. Like if you go into the court nowadays and try to be like, hey, my ex-wife texted me this. The judge isn't going to look at a text message. The judge isn't going to look at a picture. They're like, everything is so easily
manipulated,
photoshopped or manipulated. There's an app out there where you can print out fake phone logs, and put Verizon at the top of it and say this, and this. So like, it's starting to hurt more than it's doing good, in my opinion.
There's always going to be somebody that's going to use the technology for bad purposes. Yes.
Right. The one guy, I'm forgetting his name right now because he was in the season 1 stuff as well, but he works for Lucasfilm, but he was talking about like you said, we're doing it with the best intentions. Like we are applying our ethics to it because we know how powerful it is, but it's like, it just sounds like this total CYA statement. Like, hey, sorry guys, we were just doing it to entertain. I'm not sure what these other people are doing.
It's like
it was weird how they went out of their way to explain themselves for using it for good purposes. And I'm like, okay. Like a disclaimer, but I mean, Favreau had a 5-minute speech on it.
Well, yeah, Favreau says, and then Favreau, just to make it more chilling, is like, anybody can download this and do this. I'm like, God, just stop.
Yeah.
There's some lawyer in some dusty office at Lucasfilm just fucking like saying, you guys need to cover your ass on this, right? Like,
that could be.
Hidden away, hasn't seen the light of day in like a month.
Hasn't seen the daylight.
I see you've got a 42-minute episode here. 2 of those minutes are going to have to be dedicated to these statements. Read it right off the cue card. We will not use this for nefarious purposes. Yeah, well, then he's like saying, there's got to be ways in the future to verify something's real, the whole blockchain thing and all that kind of stuff he was talking about. He's like, like a blue check mark on Twitter. And I'm like, okay. I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, what is it? He's like talking about chain coding people. I'm like, I don't know if we want to go down that road.
I think with the idea of using the blockchain for a digital stamp.
Exactly. Yes.
To give it validity. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, well,
the let's go into we've discussed a volume a million times, but the idea they had Hamill on set for one day of shooting, he would act out the scene and then go right over to that egg,
the egg
with
was
the lights, and they would record the facial features and everything. And
can't hide from that thing.
That was amazing. No,
if you got a pock mark from 1981, it's going to show up.
Every pore is exposed.
Mm-hmm. Mark, you look great, but you need to exfoliate, bud.
Well, they should. I'm surprised they didn't have to like fucking just. Put a heavy coating of sunblock on him before he went in there, because those lights, man, just gonna burn the face.
He looked terrible, like in the fucking Jedi uniform. Like, God damn, Mark, like he's bending down
60,
his.
I know,
like his face is all. I'm like, it almost ruined it for me.
He just looks grizzled a little bit more. But it's literally like, hey, Mark, you've got a nose hair that's just sticking out just the front of your nostril. I mean, it's so exposed.
Mark,
don't worry, we'll Photoshop
your
that
face
out.
is melting as we speak. Can you do something, like duct tape it back? Do something.
You're really helping us get the good guests.
One, he's going to be like, hey, I heard what you said about my boy Hamill, Cole.
Ain't happening. they filmed it, like you said, in one day, and it was when Robert Rodriguez, our boy,
Yes.
was in Simi Valley shooting the Power Rangers episode. So all the crew, most of the crew is gone.
Uh-huh.
But I thought, one of the things we talked about, I think when we wrapped up the season a while back, was what did they see? Like, because at one point, one of the guys says something about how that Max guy, the stand-in that looks like a young Mark Hamill, that he was there he said he was with the actors. So how the hell did they not have some sort of inclination? They're literally like, here's this guy, he's going to be standing in for Plo Koon. Do you think, like, I don't know, like fucking Katie Sackhoff's like, is it me or does he kind of look like a young Mark Hamill?
Yeah.
Anybody catch on to that?
Bro, did anyone ever tell you look just like Mark Hamill?
He's like, and he just turns bright red. No.
I get that a lot. He's like, that's interesting. And he snaps her neck and shoves her under
No, we need her.
stuffs her in a trash compactor.
You should have did it to Cara Dune.
It's not that. It's not that important of a secret. We don't have to kill people. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going next level with this. He said.
Yeah, I just wonder what they thought, because they all said they didn't know it was coming, but they had to have some sort of idea if they filmed with that actor.
Well, actors are really concerned with themselves and their own performance. So this guy who's not an actor, he's just a stand-in for a big alien head that's going to be CGI'd on them, and all the script said Plo Koon on it. So they were probably just like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. Could you imagine having that secret and being on set and just going, did I say Luke Skywalker today? Holy fuck, did I?
Yeah. Never once were they allowed to say it, or everything was Plo Koon. And did you notice, like, if you're watching that and there's they're setting up the idea for this shot, it was it Peyton Reed, Filoni, and then Favreau was behind them.
Yeah.
And as he goes, and then Plo Koon's going to come and do this, and you just see him kind of smile.
Yes.
Like he's just like, oh, I fucking love this. They're kids, man. They're having a blast. I love it.
Yeah, and I liked how Peyton Reed tells that story of Favs pulling him aside and being like, so just so you know, it's Luke. And he's like, what?
Could you imagine the weight on your shoulders suddenly? Like, not only are you're filming the season finale of this show, and these big things are happening, but then you're told, like, oh, you're gonna bring back the greatest Jedi and movie history, and we're gonna figure this out as we go.
I kind of felt like that was like Joey from Friends, where he had the secret that Chandler and Monica were sleeping together, and like Favreau's like, I just gotta tell someone.
Yeah.
Goes over there and tells like fucking Peyton Reed.
Grogu, it doesn't count when I keep telling Grogu what's going on.
He talks to him.
Yeah.
Well, then they kind of getting toward the latter part of the episode, they say, well, they talk a little bit about, the John Williams music coming in and how powerful of a moment that was because it was never used. This is where you start like blinking a little extra, because all of a sudden it starts to get a little emotional, because Favreau starts talking about how Filoni tells that story about, if you get Luke, you get R2. And Favreau's like, what?
Yeah.
Gets all excited.
Yeah.
And he says how he had this moment, how he was even choked up talking about the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I love how he's like, it was weird. It's silly. I don't understand why it happened.
I can't explain it, he says. And that's how we all felt. Like those of us who knew what was going on couldn't explain our feelings.
Yeah.
Caught up to me later on.
Yeah, but I mean, he's telling that story about like, oh, my father took me to Star Wars, and now, there's people sitting on a couch with their kids watching this. I'm literally sitting on the couch with the consultant watching it, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's me. He's talking right to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I did like to add on to the to with the Mark Hamill like being on set. I liked how he had to teach someone to be a younger version of himself. He was saying, like, he had the younger, whatever that actor's name was. He was doing that, and then like
Max something.
I also thought that they got so realistic with it. He's like, he had to be better than he was in Return of the Jedi with his lightsaber work, because it was 5 years later and he had been practicing, and they alluded to maybe someone was teaching him some more.
The way that he said that,
I thought
that
something
motherfucker
too. Yep.
knew who's training him. There's more, and I want to get into that, but there's more coming.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Who was training him? Do you have a thought?
I have no. Well, I want to say it's Mace Windu, but who doesn't? But
It's Plo Koon.
Yeah,
It's Plo Koon. He lived. I'm telling you, he lived. You never saw him go down. It's Porkins.
He was a Jedi the
You
whole
never
time.
saw Porkins go. Maybe he's just got like his backside is a little bit scarred up, so it's like a piece of bacon now. Fat back.
Yeah, he makes it into almost every episode.
He does.
He's my fave. I wish he would have been my real father.
Oh man, get on the couch. Let's workshop this now.
Let's go.
Oh fuck, man.
I liked when he started talking to R2, right? Like the R2 and Wicket meeting for the first time in Jedi is kind of like how they used that as a frame of reference for Grogu and R2 meeting. I thought that was a cool. And then they said they CGI'd or they used footage from Return to put it in where R2 does the like back and forth, where he does his little shake when he's excited, his little jitter, I guess, the R2 jitter.
It's they always do a great job of that, of examining so closely the way that those characters have behaved in past films so that it matches.
Yeah, their attention to detail is top notch.
I bet they got spreadsheets.
ILM. No, I'm sure they do. They all like love each other for it too. You'd be in good company, you know.
I'm available.
All in all, it was a fun look back at the way they did it, and I mean we kind of heard the stories and everything, but it did seem that he was. Well, the fact that he was in on it far longer, and they had to hold on to the secret for far longer than we were aware of. But like the deep fake and the de-aging and stuff, like, and they almost went above and beyond to let you know that they were aware of the people that might talk shit about the deep fake, and how the one woman talks about the conversation that everyone is a facial recognition expert. They see a face a different way, and they talk about the different versions of Luke, and they were right. You look at it and you see a different. Your Luke is different than a different version, or someone else sees a different version.
Right? So faces are so complex in general. But then her explanation of it was good, which is just that I think it's just the most difficult thing to duplicate because of the fact that there's so much nuance to it that you have to. It's hard to capture that with AI and technology.
And at the end of the day, what was the point of having Mark Hamill on set at all? Because they used Respeecher to dice together his old dialogue to use his voice.
Yeah.
And they used the deep fake stuff and pasted his face over top of old Max Boy's body. So.
Well, I think it was several things. One is to make him part of it because he's Luke Skywalker. So that's one, kind of a nod. Two is, to try to help maybe that younger actor who is kind of standing in as the body, kind of, see him in action, how he moves and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I think they probably use some sort of, if they're putting him in the egg and doing all that stuff, some of that got filtered into that, whatever they used to create that likeness.
Okay. I'm wondering if they used the deepfake footage over the old man Mark Hamill to find the same facial features, and then they use that over Max. His name's Max, right?
Max, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of facial manipulation to get over to the body double, basically.
It's like weird science. You just got to feed all that data in, and then the hot woman will come out.
Yep, just put the underwear on your head. It always works out.
I forgot to hook up the doll. Sorry.
Do you think that it would have been better with just like a lookalike? Who are we talking, like casting a young Luke Skywalker at one point? You said could have been
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan, right?
Yeah.
Think it would have been better or worse?
I think they did the right thing. I think that they could probably get away with recasting now, but I feel like we're gonna see more of Luke. But I don't know if they'll go through. That's a lot of work for just that one. Maybe 60 seconds of on screen, So if we're going to see more in the future, do they go? I mean, that Max guy, he kind of fucking works,
Yeah.
But now that they've done it, they can probably do it a little bit faster. They hired the deep fake guy, right? Yep. There's a reason why they brought him in. It wasn't just because, you know what? He does a really good job. In case we ever need to do it again, we've got a professional, to me, we'll be seeing more of it used in one way or another.
How would you like to be that guy's ex-girlfriend?
The deep fake guy?
Yeah, you really fuck your life up.
Oh, fuck. Good
Put
point.
out a video. Put out a video of you fucking a goat or something. What? Having sex with a fucking narwhal.
Oh, no, the narwhal tape released.
The deep fake narwhal.
No, it's a good question. I think we might have talked about it before, too, is just that does the moment change for you if it's just another actor that looks kind of like him versus getting as close as you can to his actual likeness? I don't know. I could see it either way. I mean, I think going forward, I think you're right. I think they need to have an actor. I don't think you can continue to do the deepfake stuff unless it's very, very bit parts. Yeah. But if you want to really develop that character more as far as what he did in between that or in that time frame, I think you have to have an actual actor do it. And I'm all for Sebastian Stan. I love him. I think he'd be great.
Yeah.
But for that moment they were setting up, I don't know. In the end, does it hit harder because it's kind of him? You know what I mean? than it would if it was
like
another actor.
we were all on the fence of, was it really him? Like the whole fucking world was, oh my God, is that really? I mean, the fact that we're seeing like Luke Skywalker, and it really looked like him, but it was just off enough where we questioned it, right?
So
here's the proof that it really was. Yeah. So no, like at the end of the day, it makes it better knowing that it was, but in that moment watching it, it was just so great to know that Luke Skywalker showed up and that's who Grogu's going with. It worked.
And then you'd always have that initial question: is this supposed to be Luke? Because it's not Luke, right? It's Sebastian Stan. You're like that. It's just are we all supposed to just pretend this is Luke, right? Like that's that first thing that happens in everyone's head. So they had to write it a little different. Like,
I think that's a good point.
Luke Skywalker, right?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. To drop at the end of an episode like that, at the end of the season, and in the moment, have it be that. But if you're going to build out a whole series where he's a recurring character, that's
you
when
make an announcement.
Yeah. Because you know who it is right away.
And you be like, Mark Hamill's been hired as a consultant. He'll be on the set, something like that.
Well, by the way, that was another thing that got me too, was Mark Hamill like saying how like touched he was, how moved he was by seeing all these reaction videos and like grown men crying. I'm like, who are you talking about grown men crying? Do you have a camera in my house or something?
I feel attacked.
But I love that. I love how he was so moved by it. Like he's like, he's so appreciative of the fan. I mean, Mark Hamill's the fucking shit. I mean, he's such a great ambassador for that role in that franchise.
Yep. And I mean, you saw some of his house. It's done him well.
He's done
to be appreciative of what Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Should we go to the mall bag?
I love the mall bag.
Hello there.
You've got mail.
Kenobi!
All right. That was just for you.
Really drawn out.
Yeah.
Really drawn out Kenobi.
Email number 1 is from Mike Laybourne. Got that drop yet, Cole?
No.
Damn. I'm just looking forward to what you're going to make.
What was I supposed to make? Something hating
No, just
Mike.
something to
Oh, killing
with
Mike.
him.
That's what it was.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
He's got a long email here. So he says, with Series 2 of the Dad Batch announced, it's time to get some guest directors in. Which of the Dad Batch would you most want to direct? Personally, I'm looking forward to the episode directed by Wrecker, 25 minutes of explosions.
You know, I want to see like a fake making of where they do this, where it's just like, I got to make an episode.
Oh, that would be awesome.
It would just be kind of silly and funny, right?
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Outtakes and bloopers.
Yeah.
Of like Wrecker with, like the headphones on. He's in Video Village directing and just fucking losing his shit about something.
Echo tries to talk. No!
Yeah.
You don't get to talk, Echo. Go sit down in the back and play with your little fucking
Know your
hand.
place.
Yeah. Put your 3/16 wrench in. And go fucking fix something.
If they let Omega do it, she'd be like saving loath cats or something. It'd be something, real touching.
Omega's on, she's in a director's chair. So my episode is called Hunter.
None of you really matter. Just Hunter. But.
It'd cut to a fucking, you can save, what is it, the fucking Arms of the Angel with Sarah McLachlan playing. She's got a loaf cat in her hand. For only $3 a day, you can save this loaf cat.
If it was Crosshair, it'd just be him murdering everybody. It'd just be like a fucking slasher flick.
Right, yeah.
Snuff film. Jesus.
Oh, man.
I met Princess Leia once.
He goes on to say some thoughts on the Bad Batch. Looking back, I reckon the Bad Batch was a solid show. The artwork was amazing, and they introduced familiar characters in a way that wasn't obtrusive. I felt a few episodes were a little bit of filler and would rather have spent more time getting to know all the crew. Jay, you kind of agreed with that a little bit because that one episode where they were barely in it. But I'm a 30-something Star Wars nerd and probably not the main target audience. Overall, it was really good, and I'm excited for next season. And then he goes on to say, FACBA, other lesser shows are also available, covered the series well with its usual insight, facts, honest opinion, and of course, terrible jokes. Terrible?
Bite your tongue.
Come on, Mike.
Asshole.
It's a quality show that works because all the hosts are fans who are on the same journey as the rest of us. Merry Christmas to all of you, especially Cole. Thanks, Mike.
I don't get the Merry Christmas.
I'm not sure what that means either.
He probably was listening to Geekmas in July.
There you go. We figured it out.
Yep.
God, that was quick. I want to spend a minute on these terrible jokes thing.
You think so?
What is he talking about? That's just for him to try and piss us off. Okay, you show me another Star Wars show that jokes per minute.
That's right.
There isn't one.
Yeah.
JPMs, jokes per minute.
Yeah, exactly.
The highest JPM in the galaxy. You got to use that as the intro.
That's the next one.
Dad jokes.
So the next one was a tweet we got when we had sent out, a little request for feedback. So we appreciate people responding to that. This is from the Alderaan A-Holes podcast. That's a hell of a name.
Is this one of the cheaters?
Nope. Not one of the
Okay.
cheaters. No.
Happy to hear from these guys.
What
then.
would you? What would you?
These guys
call
are good,
that?
then.
What, there would be the other guy, but what would be like the adulterer?
I just called them my friends.
That's how it starts.
Which Leia hairstyle is the best? And he sent some pictures. So we've got, obviously a lot of stuff from the original trilogy, including her, at the very beginning with the whatever you call
The
that.
cinnamon rolls?
Yes, the cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
You got the Empire Strikes Back. Well, that was Empire
That's
Strikes
Hoth.
Back. Right when she kisses him on Hoth, right before she kisses Luke, she's priming for the kiss. That's the second one. You got the Ewok village down here in the middle, where she's got the braids and the twine going through her hair. Right, her hair's down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Where the Ewoks curiously had an outfit that fit her, right?
Yep, they were able to put together a nice little number for her that they had probably taken off of the last corpse that they had eaten over an open flame.
That's right.
He just happened to fit into this cloth.
Making jerky.
Yep. You got Slave Leia. Looks like her long braid, French braid, going down over her shoulder.
To be honest, until right now, I never knew she even had a braid.
In Slave Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
'cause
I
she
never
throws
paid
her-
attention to that.
How do you
throws-
get past that bikini? Like,
She throws her hair back.
Your
She
eyes
throws
are
her-
somewhere else.
yeah.
She throws her braid back when she fucking chokes Jabba out with a fucking chain.
She tosses it.
Yep, she
Yeah.
tosses it. Tosses his salad too right after that.
Oh boy.
And then this looks like Cloud City. If I'm
When he's dead? Sorry, go ahead.
maybe Jabba didn't die.
The third picture is Cloud City, yeah.
Cloud City. When she's
Someone get this walking carpet out of... Yeah.
that was
No,
a-
that's
New Hope.
that's a New Hope. That's Death Star. This is when she doesn't trust Lando and all that shit.
Yes, okay, yeah.
You truly belong with us among the clouds. Smooth.
Okay, I would say,
motherfucker.
you got to go with the cinnamon rolls, right?
No.
I mean, that's the most iconic hairdo.
I go.
It's the iconic,
Yeah.
but not my favorite.
So, no?
No. What do you go call?
My favorite's Jedi or Ewok Village when she's got their hair down. I like hair
Really?
down. I like to get my.
Yeah, you like that frizzy
to be able
burnt
to-
hair look?
When you put your hand in her hair, do you want to be able to get it out?
You're not going to.
I'd like to be able to get it out. Anyway, I'm not gonna tell you guys what show that's
I
from.
don't even know.
Oh, come on.
Seinfeld.
You got it. Seinfeld. It's George. She's got a nice set of eyebrows. Who cares about a woman's eyebrows? He's very strong. He can lift 50 pounds up
You
over
watch
his
this
head.
show every day.
His retention is unbelievable. His
It is
recall.
amazing.
Oh, it's good. Sorry about that.
I think mine's the Hoth hair. I like the little
Yeah.
like bun
Like the
around the back
dangling
there.
braids?
Yeah, I kind of like that look. It's nice,
Okay.
nice and tight. I like it.
You know,
like a
it's
tiger.
interesting because you've never seen anybody other than maybe the massive slave Leia braid. You've never seen anyone wear their hair like any of this,
Yeah,
right?
true.
You know, so and who does her hair? Because she's not braiding her hair and fucking making up dangly braids with a bun and all this shit.
Did she have the braids when she was in the bounty hunter costume going into Jabba's palace? So it just stayed that way, or did they actually give her time to do her hair, or like some Twi'leks come in and help her with her hair?
I think her hair was kind of like what you liked in Empire.
It's kind of pinned back, right? Some
Yeah,
way?
yeah, but I think there was like a weird thing going around her head. It's like a French braid, but it's like it circles the back of her head.
We are spending far too long on this conversation.
We should definitely all just become Star Wars
Yeah.
stylists.
We will move
hairstylists.
on. We got a voicemail from the one and only rural farm boy.
Yeah.
So this is long.
Okay.
So I thought we could play a little okay stop. You know how that works?
Yeah, we're gonna point to you and you're gonna stop.
You're just going
And
to
we'll
say
make a
okay
comment.
stop and I'll stop.
Okay. All right.
So,
Fair enough.
You guys
We
ready
just
to
wait.
go?
We just wait till we've had enough, or we want to chime
you
in.
wanna make
No,
a
you
comment?
just want to make a comment because it's long. This thing's like 3.5, 4 minutes long. So we need to break it up a little bit. Okay, you ready?
Ready. Okay. Stop.
I'll do my FACPA crew. Jay, Cole, Maddie. It's Roar Farm Boy. So I seen in Twitterverse, I want to say it's Jay, runs the show account.
Wrong. It's me. Sorry, I forgot to say okay stop. That's me. I run the Twitter account. Come on.
It's not good enough that he cheats on us, but now he's got to take
Take
credit
all
for
the credit
everything.
for your role. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it all started. Me running the Twitter account.
Posted up asking listeners questions. Now, I like this. Because more often than not, I see or I even hear.
Okay, stop. Do you guys? What do you think the scene is looking like in his house? I'm picturing him in a rocking chair with an old style like fucking pen mic going into like a reeled tape recorder and a fireplace, just sitting here rocking back and forth.
I'm seeing
talking,
like
talking
a
on the
Little House on the Prairie type cabin.
phone. Okay.
Yeah, with like maybe an angry woman in the kitchen, disheveled. You know.
Are we gonna hear some domestic violence coming soon?
Yeah, he's hurried. He's trying to hurry up to get this recording done because he's got to go board up the windows before the Dust Bowl.
I think the rocking chair, nails it. I think he's sitting there petting his dog in one hand, Mike in the other hand. It's a good boy. Okay.
It's a sheep. It's not a dog. It's a sheep.
All right.
The many different shows in my playlist.
Oh, by the way, this guy says many different shows in his playlist.
listens
He's
to
got
all of
like
them.
100 Star Wars shows in his playlist. We appreciate being one of
insane.
them. It's
Yeah.
it's unreal. Having listening to everybody dissect so much of the same content. That's impressive.
I feel like he's like maybe he has a spreadsheet and he's just keeping a tally of who says what, how correct they are. There's going to be a judgment someday.
Yes. He's going to make a deep fake of all of us having a podcast together.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna kill us all off, and we're gonna either be on that list or not. So,
Okay. He's making a kill list.
it's like on Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Billy Madison.
So he's sitting in his rocking chair, petting his dog, putting lipstick on.
He's got a 30-06 above the mantle. Fucking the shells lined up with our names on them.
Meanwhile, Mike Laborn just has Cole on the list. That's it.
And Mike Laborn's got a shelf that's just like a shadow of a dark saber, but he's never owned one. So it's just
Solitary tear rolling down his cheek. Okay.
That all of our other friends on their shows is always asking, send us your questions. Send in listener questions. To me, that sounds like it's a one-sided conversation. And I always try and urge them to the best I can to also ask questions of your listeners, because then it becomes something we can talk about together, even if it's in long form, from one email to the next or 1 week to the next, one show to the next. So you're asking, what did I think of Bad Batch?
yeah.
You did ask that, Jay.
I did.
That's what he was picking up. Was you retweeted? I think the tweet I put out, and you asked
Yes, I did.
specifically for that kind of stuff.
Yes, and then I attached some of the listeners.
Yes. So he's responding, and I think you tagged him, right?
I did,
There you go. So
Yep.
he's responding directly to you.
and I appreciate that, Rural Farm Boy.
Well, I loved it, all 16 episodes, for exactly what it is. I go to Star Wars for one thing.
To look at nude Twi'leks.
I was gonna say masturbatory content, like everyone else, obviously, right? We're all in the same boat here, guys.
Just making sure, guys.
I want to do my hair like Princess Leia.
Follow me for more styling tips.
Yeah. At the end of this, he's going to give his YouTube tutorial page.
He's like, I shear all my sheeps in different fucking Princess Leia styles.
The same thing I go to my playlist for. Talk to me. Tell me a story. I never have any wants or expectations of them, because as much as I love them and as much goofy shit as I know about all this stuff with like useless information, love it as much as I do as Jins do, they ain't my stories. So I can't have a want or an expect, no matter how much I know about that galaxy far, far away.
Well, see, I understand what he's saying there,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, you can have expectations.
I think he played his cards. He's got to be from Tennessee somewhere because Ewan's. He just said Ewan's. I love as much as Ewan's do.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking Tennessee thing, I think.
He's from Western Pennsylvania.
Okay. Way off.
He nailed it.
He was raised in Tennessee.
Raised in Tennessee, yeah. Yep.
There we go. Origins in
Born
Tennessee.
Chattanooga.
Right now, he's calling his witness relocation program officer and be like, I've been made.
Crosshair shows up at his front door. Come with me.
Grab your sheep.
We
You gotta go.
We heard your voicemail.
Jay and Cole and Matt can't hurt you anymore.
Into it for tell me a story. Because every one of them 16 episodes was thought about long and hard and put together because somebody wanted to tell you a story. Did it need to connect from one to another? No. Well, in my opinion.
Sounds like a George Lucas apologist, if you ask me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is George's cousin. This is George's cousin from Western Pennsylvania.
Fair enough. He's protecting his the trust fund that's due to
I
him
bet you
any day now.
I bet you 50 calamari flan. If we fucking look into his bank account, he's got some fucking Mattel stock somewhere for the fucking toy lines.
Kenner.
Kenner, thank you.
Kenner, right.
And I love them all for what they are. And they're taking place in a part of the time period of the galaxy we know nothing about. Republic's gone. No more separatists anymore. Just empire, a very big, growing, ferocious empire. And starting to really get a grip on the galaxy. So where do we go from there? I've already had friends ask me, what do you think what's going to be in season 2? I got nary a clue.
What? What do you mean you don't have a clue? I think he's got an idea. He just doesn't want to reveal. Again, he's a Lucas plant.
Yeah.
No offense,
Yeah.
calling you out, Rural Farm Boy.
Yeah.
I know you've got a fucking you're the prestigious winner of the Darksaber, and we
Who
hope
he
you
bequeathed to
I
another
know,
person.
but he also was the winner.
Yeah. He's in our eyes, he's a winner.
Who does that end up going to?
Blue Leader.
I think this is like the third
Who
time
we've
I've asked
never
that.
heard from again.
We heard from, they sent us some images of it and stuff.
Blue Leader, are you still out there?
Blue Leader retweets our stuff every now and again.
Okay. Okay, good.
The Blue Waffle Leader.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. We got about a minute to go, folks.
All right. Rural Farm Boy, bring it home.
He talked long form earlier. This is a long form voicemail.
Yeah.
And you were also asking thoughts about the Disney.
Why does he seem so like mad at us? He seems so offended. Rural Farm Boy, come home.
And
What did we do to you?
I've got a bone to pick with you.
He's like, you know what? You forced me to do this fucking voicemail, and I'm disgruntled and a little upset about it. And so I'm gonna give you a real piece of my mind.
I'll be honest, I don't know what's going to happen. Stop asking me.
Thinly veiled, like
As
very
he's
thinly
burning-
veiled
As
hostility.
he's burning season 2 scripts with his name on it in the fire.
Why would you think I would know? God.
It's like, listen, I don't fucking know what's gonna happen in season 2. Quit bothering me about it, all right? I swear to God.
The Disney Gallery that last Wednesday, or this past Wednesday. Watching that, the couple times I got to give it a good look, was watch, look, and listen to everybody that they get to talk to from the crew, no matter what their part is, that these folks are all fans just like us. They just get the fortunate privilege to be able to put together and tell us these stories. They love it as much as we do. I mean, if seeing R2D2.
Oh my God, what is happening in the background?
Well,
Okay, hang on.
he's recording from a porta potty right now.
Say,
On that side of the highway?
Yes.
fucking liar, poser, rural farm boy. I heard
Right.
a fucking semi in the background. You're in the fucking inner city.
He's got an air conditioner blowing in the background. We're on to you, Rural.
Well, I think we're still on with that. The rocking chair, that creaking is absolutely a rocking chair. That you hear that creaking going? It's like,
I'm not as adept at picking up creaking or as familiar with it as you are because
Yeah,
I sit
true.
in my spot
that's right.
at the table every week.
You're oblivious to it.
You're fucking. It's like you're tuned into it, waiting for it. I know Cole's gonna creak here anytime.
I feel like he's calling from one of those payphones on the side of the highway.
Oh yeah, call box almost.
Yes.
like Kathleen Kennedy's people are on to me. I gotta
well,
make this quick.
I think
It's like I only got after 4 minutes they start tracing the call, so I got to keep this under 3 minutes. He had originally planned for a 10-minute diatribe, but it fucking didn't make it.
They're not going to catch me. I'm on the side of the highway somewhere.
it's either that or at the very end he goes, by the way, can you call AAA? I blew out a tire.
My horse threw a shoe. I don't. Had to put it down.
All right, we're almost done. Hold on.
Come onto the deck of that light cruiser following Luke. Puts a few tears in Mr. Favreau's eyes just because he saw him rolling in. Yeah, he's a fan just like we are. So that's my thoughts. And been missing you in my playlist, doing every other week, but not my show. It's your
Well, I mean, that's the ultimate guilt trip.
Yeah.
I feel your eyes burning into
Finally.
me and Jason right now.
Finally has an opinion about something.
Yeah, I agree with him 100% on this one.
You guys want to go to every once a week, right, guys? Right, fellas? After
Everybody
work?
wants it.
Right now, he's got a tear in his eye.
I think he gets like 500 votes. He won the dark saber. We can't not give the fans what they want.
That's true. We got to start recording just a show for him every other week.
That's right. I think that's true.
Yeah.
All right, a couple more seconds.
And I'll look forward to episode 35 coming up in my playlist. So until then, may the force be with all of you. See you on the radio.
And also with you.
See, on the radio. What does that mean?
What are we broadcasting on the radio now?
Are we
guys
on
won.
terrestrial radio now? I don't remember that. I haven't put that feed out.
I signed us up for Sirius, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Thank you very much, Rural Farm Boy. Appreciate the voicemail.
That's a dedicated listener. When not only they listen and they ask for more, but they also give us 4 minutes of their time to call in and allow us to be a little playful with them. That's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Appreciate it, Rural Farm Boy.
That's it for all the mailbag entries. Thank you, everybody, for reaching out to us. Please keep sending that stuff in.
Yes, we want to hear from you. Start watching Rebels with us, listeners, and then
Yes.
you can join. Send us some emails. What are you liking on season 1? What do you expect? If you haven't ever watched it and you're going to go into it, go in there blind, and then send us some of your bits, and we'll discuss it. If you like something, if you thought we should like something, if you were surprised by something, if you've got a rocking chair and you're going to watch it, and call us if you need to.
Can't have rocking chairs in this house. There's too many cats' tails running.
Oh,
Oh.
good point.
Hey, boys.
Yeah, I'm excited for Rebels because I watched it the first time through, and I don't think I ever went back aside from maybe an episode or two to rewatch. I haven't seen it in quite a long time, so I can't wait to get back to it. I love that series.
I'm going to watch it with my son. We started watching it. When Disney Plus first came out, I was showing him different things, and we watched the first episode of that, I think, and he was liking it. So I'll sit down and watch that with him over the... So we've got 2 weeks, right, before we record? I'll have it done
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
season 1. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and the listeners will get season 1, episode 1 through 6 or whatever it
I
is.
think it's
however many.
8. I think the first season's 15, and then I think it's like 20, 20, and 15 or something like that. It's a little bit shorter than the Clone Wars series or seasons were.
They did a 15, huh? So we're going to have to make a real executive decision here. We're going to go 7 and then 8, or
Well-
8 and then 7.
You know, I already looked at this, right?
Where's the story arc
We're going
change?
7 with 30 minutes into the second episode. Or season 8.
There's a cold open that belongs to the episode before.
We're gonna cut one of the episodes in half. 7.5. Right there. Stop. No, but it's they'll put like a little note in the whatever the fucking Wikipedia page for it, and it'll say like this is end of whatever year. Like so they have like these hard cuts almost mid-season where they make it easy on you. So
Okay.
I'll put it in the notes. Don't worry, guys.
Perfect.
And Jay and I will routinely ignore it like we always do.
It'll be a lot of like, and then this happened. I'm like, that was episode 11. We can't get to that yet.
I did that one. What was that? The first season of Clone Wars. It's like, yeah. Then he dies the next episode.
You were like 3 episodes into the second
yeah, because
season.
I started watching.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That was next season. Oops.
You were getting ahead on your work. That's smart.
Sorry, boys. Yeah.
All
All right. We will see you in 2 weeks with another episode. We're going to try and do weekly releases after that. So, stay subscribed. Tell your friends. This is the best podcast for your Star Wars information. And until next time,
Never tell us the odds.
In our experience, there's no such thing as luck.
we have spoken.